I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Well, it's 1:15 a.m. and huh. You know, Michael Jackson died yesterday. Died about probably less than 12 hours ago. I think my time it was around 3:30 or so. So about 10 hours ago we died. And Michael Jackson was not. Michael Jackson was 50 when he died. I'm 58. So he was. His music, pop music, was a little bit behind my sort of age group. My age group was more the Beatles, rock and roll, that type of thing. Michael Jackson came in. It was more young kids kind of music, more than my age group. I would have to say. And so I didn't really pay a lot of attention to Michael Jackson. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to music in general because I was never really that deep into music. But I was in, as a matter of fact, I was in this place that I'm in right now when I discovered Michael Jackson. And that was back in I think it was in 82 or 83, a Thriller album. And I was painting. And I put on this little cassette tape of Michael Jackson Thriller, and I think I had headphones, and it was the most unbelievable album. Well, it wasn't an album, it was a little tape, but it was the most unbelievable track. The whole thing was just, it was such a great album, or whatever it was. It was beautiful. And so I was never really a Michael Jackson fan because I was, at that time I was 32 years old. So I wasn't, I just wasn't into pop music that much. But you had to pay attention to Michael Jackson because his talent was just so, it was just magic. And then I remember seeing that part of that interview where he was talking about how he was sort of abused. His father abused him as a child, and he was put in a situation where his talent was sort of a meal ticket for the family in a way. Now, I'm not saying that the other members of his family weren't talented. I don't really keep track of all that kind of stuff. But he was obviously head, shoulders, waist, knees, and ankles above all of the rest of the people in his family when it comes to talent. It was just it was just one of those entities that comes around once in a lifetime, or maybe not even once in a lifetime. It'd probably never be another Michael Jackson as far as the kind of popularity that he had. It's very fascinating, but it's a strange thing about it is that I'm not going to bring anything new to the table as far as talking about Michael Jackson's talent. All the people that loved Michael Jackson know how talented he was. I mean, this guy was over the top when it comes to talent, to being a performer, to being someone that's an entertainer. And oftentimes I believe that in this country and in the world, we put too much emphasis on people that do that kind of thing. Jonas Salk coming up with a cure for polio is a much more important figure for humanity than Michael Jackson. But you know, what's his name? Jonas Salk couldn't sing like Michael Jackson. He couldn't. He was an entertainer. He was an entertainer. So when you want to be entertained, which is, you know, part of our existence, you know, it's hard to beat Michael Jackson because people paid attention to this guy because he was bigger. He was bigger than, he wasn't bigger than life, obviously, but he was a monumental figure in our history. I was thinking, I've been watching the Twitter stream. I haven't been watching it today because I've been pretty busy doing some other things, but you know, when you have something like Michael Jackson dies, and then the conversation between what's happening with the Iranian election and all of these kind of things sort of they get pushed to the side a little bit, even though in the importance of things, life and death is more important than talking about an entertainer. But these entertainers, these people have such an impact on a person's life. You know, when you're a kid and you see Michael Jackson moonwalk and you're out there as a little kid trying to moonwalk like Michael Jackson, and then the kids grow up with this person, then it does have such a dramatic impact. And even someone like me that it was not a tremendous fan of that kind of a caliber, was very fascinated with him as a personality. You know, to me, he was a tragic figure. Yeah, he was great and he sang great and everything, but you see him in that little derby hat, you know, I think it was a little purple derby hat, you know, and he's singing, he's like 5 or 10 years old or something, you know, and he didn't have the kind of life that 99.9999% of the people have. And he was like a workhorse from the time he was a little kid. And they just strapped on the harness, you know, and he just said, "Get out there and do it," you know, and he did it. And he was a meal ticket. And then he got himself in all that jackpot with the the allegations and, you know, all the stuff that went on with the pedophilia kind of stuff. And, you know, my heart kind of went out to the guy because not to dismiss or to rationalize, but just to say this person did not have the kind of life that was normal in any way. He was like in a bubble in a way. He was like in a you know, like you see the Pope ride by, you know, and he's in this car with a bubble. And it's kind of like the way Michael Jackson was, the way I kind of looked at him in a way, that he couldn't be a normal person. He probably never had a moment of normality that we would consider to be normal. I mean, they strapped the harness on this kid and trotted him out there to sing and dance as a meal ticket for the family or whatever. And and this old man was not particularly nice to him and beat him or whatever happened. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I feel sad. I feel sad that Michael Jackson is dead. I feel sad, you know, and all the stuff that he went through, and just all the weird stuff and everything. I'm just sad that the guy died. You know, I wish he would have had a normal life, as normal as possible, yet still being able to be out there and entertain us and do the stuff that he did. But I feel sad that the guy died. 50 years old is young. You know, it's not as young as 5 or 7 or however old he was when he started his whole thing. Can you imagine being in the entertainment business, being in the spotlight, having to go out there and do it? Of course, I'm sure that he enjoyed it. There had to be a part of him that just really was just loved doing it because it was an art form. Oh, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling on, you know, but it's strange, you know. He's got these 3 kids left behind, and oh my God, what a mess. Well, Michael Jackson's dead, and it's a sad, sad story, tragic story. Thriller, 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 thriller. God, that was a fantastic piece of music. What an incredible entertainer. And may Michael Jackson have peace. The thriller, peace.